Last week on Overtime.
It's not just about having the most knowledge or the craziest take. It's about the day to day. And to me, knowing where you are helps us to understand what we are, right? Which is a being that functions off of the energy of love. And that's how the earth functions as well, man. Everything works how it's supposed to. I've done so much of that trying to sit here and Google stuff and figure things out and put the pieces together the best way I can. But like we're talking about with the understanding that it's our realm, I'm like, what do I want to do with my time?
Yeah.
How am I going to be the most happy? And like I said, when I was setting up this interview, I want to make sure I connect it all to mental health, right? And understanding, if we understand where we are and understand that my interpretation of where we are is as valid as anyone else's, that leads to a happy life. I've never woke up and felt great because I know so much about 9/11. It's like you have to
bars
get to that point. You have to have gone through something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what life is about. It's about going through something and then seeing, okay, let me see what you got. And then when you come out on top and you realizing that, you know what, it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about love, and love transcends everything. It's like,
I'm saying I won't do this because of my friend said it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Anything like that. That fear is very, very powerful. And I think they do a very, very well job by putting, fear in front of the masses, so you won't step across that line.
That's the big knife in the drawer for them.
Imagine them trying to have the same level of influence using positivity, right? People don't. People the instinct, to get out there and it could happen, but we're conditioned to take a certain level of virtue in handouts, in having something to feel like a victim about. Right? It's not.
All right, just imagine like 2 weeks of just straight positivity. Like, I can't.
I know if they put the amount of energy into doing something positive,
even if you
be the person who you need to be the person you needed when you were younger.
Bars.
Right? So if that's the case, like, you have to be able to not allow for the younger generation to just walk in darkness. Oh, you'll learn as you grow, or you know what I'm saying? We have to help the younger generation. We have to show them love. Everybody's running around in chaos because you're scared and just feeding into the bullshit and the dumb shit that's happening, they're going to do the same thing.
Like we were talking about the scamdemic just now, and to see that much force be used and then pulled back, it's like maybe there isn't a tip of the iceberg, a tip top of the mountain.
It was like mid-January. I was like, wait a minute, like the reins or the tentacles just like weakened and like they kind of like pulled back. I was like, what's going on here? But
because I was saying, that's a game of influence, of suggestion. What's coercion and what's force?
Okay.
When it comes to something like that,
how they dress it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like a mandate is not legislation. If you're out somewhere and the boys in blue are gonna press you to, or even if it gets to that point, somebody calls the cops on you, they're there. If you break, you'd have to break a different law to get arrested, right? If you're aggressive, if you display disorderly conduct, you can get picked up on that. But there is no legislation in existence that says you have to put a surgical mask on to buy groceries. That doesn't exist. It's suggestion. It's pressure through the media. And most of all, that's social shame and social conditioning.
If people knew that propaganda within the media was legal, you would have a different angle. So.
Yeah. Barry O in 2012, he passed the legislation.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a dimension and a universe? Like, is there a difference?
Yeah, I think my interpretation of that would be, once again, that to go to a different dimension or a universe, that's not something, this physical body, this vehicle, I don't see that going there, right? Like I'm going to show up in this shirt and like do my thing. No, I think it's like the light, the actual in whatever's behind in our eyes, right? The
Yeah.
heart's beating because the light is still here. So I think maybe that goes somewhere else, much like a dream, right? You
Gotcha.
go into a deep sleep and end up somewhere else.
Everybody on that same page. You know, where do we
Yeah.
start? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, like, I can't even have a conversation about people. A lot of people can't have conversations about
Defensive.
different beliefs or just I came up this way, you came up this way. You know, it's always a headbanger. So how do we come with a what does it look like for everybody to come to a common ground? You know what I'm saying?
Of we take care of the weakest, that it's more about that the society, the collective is more about hurt feelings and adjusting to hurt feelings as we go than having a concise list of morals and principles that you follow. And and so that's what's out of balance. And to answer your question, Boo Boy, I think that we need to accept more takes back a level of masculinity. That is the page that people need to get on. It's very simple, right? There's those two forces working, but we've been convinced that our own masculinity is toxic. And so we play along with these crazy narratives that don't really make sense, right?
At all.
That's feminine energy. There is toxic femininity, and that's what that is. Toxic masculinity, we know what that is, right? That it's too much of too strict, too many rules. You can't express yourself. But on the flip side of that is making rules based off of who needs the most care. Everything came from nothing, right? Big bang. You can't even trust your senses. You need to appeal to authority to find out where you are, right? Then you go to a place that teaches you that there's something wrong with you. And then you're sent out into this world that you've been taught doesn't make sense and nothing matters. So we don't nail down to find a purpose in this life is designed to be really difficult. But seeing the earth as a realm that we're in control of, like our mind, it is just a fractal version. We're a fractal version of the realm. So to understand flat earth, right? The generally understood term, it's called flat earth. That's why that's important, right? In this society, we view it more as like a car that you can bring to the shop and have someone else work on it, like an appeal to health. But
right. I'm gonna be over here. Y'all go ahead, fix my heart. I'm gonna be over here.
Yeah, I don't even need to know what you're doing with it. I don't understand. You do it for me.
There's a lot of women are forced to be masculine because men are not.
That's true. That's true, but that's clear evidence that, like the point that you're saying, women have been encouraged. It's inverted. Women have been encouraged to be masculine. Genuine masculinity has been called toxic and discouraged.
Right.
So Lola, like she said, that she has a point, but it doesn't start. It didn't. We were pushed into that to have our masculinity questioned. Then because of the encouragement, then this affects our behavior. The women being the masculinity in femininity that you're talking about creates a behavior that's not natural. I mean, point that there is a certain feminine energy to the ground, to the earth. I mean, just think about it. The sun, I mean, you have that word right there, male, sun. It gives its energy down into the earth, which is like feminine, where the seed grows and turns into life, just like pregnancy. So, not to mention the moon and its cycles and
seeds, all
of that, and us, but we're this conditioning, this false realm, the collective realm that gets twisted because focus has been harnessed to energy goes where attention flows. Row your boat gently down the stream. Life is but a dream. Energy goes where attention flows. So if you can, but it's all an offer. We don't have to live. We don't have to buy into that. You just have to be able to take a little social shame off the chin, and then you're leading by example. She asked me, she's like, "What do you think heaven is?" And I'm looking up at these stars and I'm trying to think about it and come up with an answer, but I just got this chill, man. And I was like, I turned to her and I said, "It's right now. It's right now. It's that simple." It's like you can chase anything in this world, not materialism. You could have 1 million followers and run and fuck and fight and do whatever and get think you're the fucking man. But it's at the end of the day, all you're going to want is a hug from somebody you love. If you're sitting,
There's the line between caring and coddling. It's a very thin line, I think.
I'd say so as well. To me, that would be allowing a child to figure out a situation on their own. Like, you can be there for them, but coddling would be taking the steering wheel away from them, metaphorically. Pull it away, right? They've jacked up prices before and they go back down.
Right.
But like you'll at least won't hear me going, here we go again, like they come up with a new fake Lyris and put it out in the media, and then seekers of truth will share it for them, push the narrative, and be like, well, here we go again.
Right.
Here we go.
Okay.
And it's like you have to actually step out of the chaos,
Okay.
and that's what I'm trying to demonstrate with the truth, with the
breaks up a family because the significant other doesn't agree with her view of the world, with their view of the world. I feel like you shouldn't be forced to agree because we have free will.
That's a tough one, because you're talking about two different people with two different perspectives, but one feels as though their perspective is the end all be all. So I don't know.
That's a tough tug of war.
I mean, like we've been talking about this whole episode. Love, love will transcend that shit.
Love is understanding, big baby.
Love will also, have you. I mean, it's not all that. I definitely don't agree with everything my wife says. I just don't. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way that it is. But in that, I find solace just for the simple fact that balance is there.
I don't like always agreeing with me person anyway. Like, if you always agree with me, I think you got like an ulterior motive. So, you know what I mean? You gotta have like some type of it's like, martial arts. You gotta practice, getting your thoughts across in a disciplined way. So
a man and a woman who both were, saying they met in a negative type of lifestyle, but then they get together, and then one person, said that as they grow in life, they have a flip of the switch, and they're now way more positive. Because this shit happens, so people get in a relationship. I may grow to be, I'm not the same person. That same lifestyle that I used to live with you, I no longer want to do because I'm seeing things differently. I'm acting more in a positive light. That could create and sever a relationship. I mean, but is that right? You know what I'm saying? Is he not supposed to grow? Is he not supposed to grow and evolve, or that person not supposed to grow and evolve simply because he don't want to break up the family? You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's tough. But at the
things like remember the story Lord of the Rings, right? I think that might have something to do with like the circular nature of where we are, right? Like it could possibly be a puddle
in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
So where's where's this outer edge? Like, where is that?
The idea would be that is if you go south in any direction. So even right, I'm looking at this, I can kind of find North America here. Even if I go north, that's called circumnavigation, is to go all the way around, right? So even if I'm here and I go north long enough, eventually I'm going south and I'm going to cut across and come to an ice wall. But and where's the truth? Like if you don't have that proof and that truth, like what do you refer to? Do you refer to what you were first taught, like the globe model, or do you look around and take what would your own perception be without referring to anybody else's take on the matter?